All right, thanks so much for staying with Sunrise Live on E. We do have a dual broadcast outside Welkom in Masimong community, and we're looking at private partnerships and how effective these are. We know Patrice Motsepe from Harmony Gold and Tokyo Sekwale, the Minister of Human Settlements, have partnered in providing quality housing for the residents of Masimong community. Now, let's take your Facebook messages. We wanted to know if these triple Ps are in effect, are they working? And Elias says, great partnership indeed. Another one from Costa says, it is great. Arthur Angry Bird says, a big yes. We need the rich to help the poor, especially housing. Government can do it, or government can't do it alone. Just going to update the screen here. No Cizo says, while it's good, yet it should also be indicated that Patrice Motsepe has extracted billions and billions out of the land, and 250 million rand is just a change for Harmony. So I was saying that more could be done. Good partnership, and I am supporting it 100%. That is Patrice. And Alex says, looks like Sunrise is Tokyo's own private PR machine. Alex, I'll have you know that we do highlight great stories as well. It's not just finding fault. And Zugiswa says, you know, this is as a good move. It should be exactly that we work together to make this country a better country. And Pumzile says, yes, it's about time that business partnered with government. Well done to Mzansi tycoons. And those are your Facebook messages. Continue sending those. That's facebook.com/ETV Sunrise. Let's hand you back now to Ayanda on location.
Thank you so very much, Cindy, for those Facebook comments. We do continue our discussion with the Minister of Human Settlements, Ubaba Tokyo Sekwale. I am also joined by the chairperson of Harmony Gold Mining Company, Ubaba Patrice Motsepe. Thank you for joining us that day.
It's a pleasure.
Just to look back at our Facebook comments, one of the Facebook comments that came through was that if this partnership can actually reduce corruption within the delivery of human settlements. What is your response to that, Minister?
We can come to that because we fight corruption all the time. And that's my job, not the job of Mr. Motsepe here. Let me talk about this project within the context of each one, settle one. We started this concept having stolen the words from young people of the time. Each one, teach one. And it was at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange where I made a call for business to get involved behind human settlements, specifically to build houses, not just for their members, but for people around their own enterprises. The response has been phenomenal. Today we are seeing Harmony Gold. Harmony Gold, here's the chairman, Mr. Motsepe. The first people to respond were Anglo Platinum at Northam, and we opened very beautiful houses with them. So that was Platinum. This time it's a golden story. And I'm very, very happy to say that we have this partnership. Mr. Motsepe is an old person, whilst he looks young, very old when it comes to philanthropy. It's more than this company for him. It's actually the family which gets more involved behind the scenes with philanthropy. But today he can talk the story of the company. The partnership means that we are taking the people forward. Government cannot do it alone. That's what was said by one of the people on Facebook. But I'm sure Mr. Motsepe can speak for himself.
Definitely, sir. But just to go back on that question, just to nail on the corruption issue, yes. How is this partnership actually reducing the corruption in that level of housing delivery?
We're reducing the housing backlog. But when there is corruption at any level, corruption comes from government people at all levels. It comes at provincial level, local government level. We have arrested more than 5,000 people. I don't even like to talk about that because my job is not to be a cop, but to spend money. It's in finance, it's in construction. But whenever there is corruption, we'll fight it. If anything rears its head, and I'm sure Mr. Motsepe will deal with that from the private sector point of view. If it rears its head, that's it. That's what you do. But the most important thing is to deal with the concept of providing for the lowest of the lowest, the poorest of the poor. This time, mine workers.
All right. Let me bring you in on this one. What has been Harmony Gold's involvement in this particular project?
Well, the gold mining industry for many, many years has made significant contributions in terms of job creation, but also since democracy, the partnership with government, with trade unions, with communities has been very, very important. We've done lots of initiatives here, quite apart from the very, very important housing unit that we are launching today. But I think I want to focus more in terms of the community residential units that we are launching today, because, as I said, there are huge other partnerships that we've initiated. And the key here is not what the mining companies are saying. It's not so much what we are saying. It's the experiences of the people on the ground, because that's critically important.
Yes.
And the most successful partnerships are the ones where there's a lot more listening on our side in terms of what are the people, the communities that are neighboring our mines, the various stakeholders, what are they saying to us in terms of the initiatives which will improve their living conditions. But I really must thank government. I must thank the minister and the municipality, the trade union organization, NUM, and various other structures, because it is an indication of what we can achieve as South Africans, as partners in this broader tripartite partnership between us as the private sector, in this case Harmony, with government represented by the minister, and trade union organization here at NUM and various other structures. We need a future for ourselves, not only for the private sector, but a future for all parties, which is based on a realization that we have no future as business if not only the employees but the communities that neighbor our operations, their living conditions improve, and they believe that their future looks good.
And this housing project was, of course, the refurbishment of old hostels into more comfortable housing projects, housing units rather. Yeah. How has it for Harmony Gold? What has been the advantages of this particular project for Harmony Gold as a company?
Yeah. Well, you know, we have a prime duty to all stakeholders, of whom, if you look at one specific constituency, the shareholder is a very critical part of the broader stakeholder constituency that we've got an obligation to. So if you look at it in terms of the benefit, I think in this context it's more an investment for the future, because it's, you know, we are going to be here for the next 20, 30, 40 years. And part of that long-term partnership requires that whilst we are busy mining, that we actually partner with communities to prepare this whole area for life post-mining. And the housing partnership today is a very, very fundamental, very significant partnership which will continue post-mining in this area. And, you know, we've made a huge contribution which amounts to 150 million. Yes. The department has meshed us in terms of 150 million that the minister has made available. And that's a role model. And I must say, with all humility, there's a lot of, I mean, the minister referred to the initiative with Northam on the housing side. He spoke about the initiative in relation to House One, and you put it very nicely in terms of the impact broader that we as the business community can make in terms of, you know, today it's about mining, but I think we should take this initiative broader than mining, because if our people, as I said, have got experiences which reflects that the business community is committed, that the challenges of unemployment and poverty is not just a problem of government or even not just their problem, but is a problem of all of us. And we build this partnership which reflects a meaningful contributor towards an improvement in the standards of living of our people, housing and in various other spheres. We will have a future not only for ourselves but for our children as well.
All right. Minister, as you have mentioned, this partnership as well as this project falls under the Each One Settle One campaign. What other private sector companies have come on board to make this particular project successful?
Well, I will not say it's sundowns or swallows. We don't want that politics today. Other private sector and companies that I started by saying gold with platinum, it was Anglo Platinum. Goldfields is going to come on board. We announced other companies last time that will be coming in. There's been a phenomenal response, particularly from individuals, because Each One Settle One is not for Mr. Motsepe alone as chairman of Harmony Gold to bring the company forward. It's also for Mrs. Motsepe alone to say, I can house somebody alone. It's for you, Ayanda, to be able to say, you know what, I can get involved by providing somebody with a house. So the response has been phenomenal. You spoke with our DG earlier, Mr. Zulu. It's his job to coordinate all those responses that we've got from the public. So I'm beginning to be satisfied that actually business is coming on board. Because this is a big project. 150 million rands, just like that, just doesn't come. If I say to somebody, give me 5 cents right now, that's not easy. And I'm sure they will put $1 billion next time, and Mr. Motsepe will come forward with another $1 billion. I hope so.
But how is the department working at mobilizing other companies out there to actually come on board?
We have already gotten in touch with all the companies since we announced this thing at the stock exchange. That's why I'm saying the DG who was here is coordinating all those efforts, all those responses. And each time you'll be hearing from time to time the each one settled ones. Others are unsung because it's private people who are doing things for others. But others will be quite big projects such as this one.
Lastly, Mr. Motsepe, just quickly, how has Harmony Gold partnered up with smaller companies in order to open up the scope for opportunity and growth within smaller mining companies?
It's a very important point you raise, because there was about 3,000 people who were employed as part of the construction phase. There's in excess of, there are many black-owned companies, BEs, and various other women-owned
From the Free State,
from the Free State and from the neighboring areas, absolutely. It's very, very important because when they provide services and we give them opportunities in this construction opportunity, it allows them, because they've got the skills, they've got the wherewithal, to also partner with, not only with us, but with various other companies on other tenders and in other procurement opportunities.
We will continue on that discussion. I'd love to hear more on the other smaller companies that have come on board. But so we will continue that discussion just after our headlines. Let's take a short ad break, and Mark Chase is standing by with your final headlines.